We're live. Greetings, folks. Welcome to the Anyone Can Farm live chat. It's Thursday night, and we're going to be doing an interview with one of our homestead families, one of the tribe families. It's the DeClercq Homestead. So this is Beth and Tommy, and I've known them, it's a good solid 2 years now, isn't it? It wasn't last year that you came to a hog harvest. It was the year before that. And I remember these guys because they showed up like a half hour early. Yeah. And I wasn't quite ready. And I was like, who are these people coming here early? But we had a really good class. And I've grown to like this crowd because when I look kind of in the rearview mirror a little bit, I'm seeing a big family. And when you watch them operate, you're not seeing people that are saying, oh, well, as soon as my kids move out, then I'll do the thing. They're doing the thing right now. So I've got a bio here, and I'm going to read it. This is what the DeClercq family wants you to think about them. And then we'll get down to the nitty gritty and we'll find out who they really are. But this is the bio. Beth and Tommy DeClercq are a young family growing food on 5 acres in mid-Michigan. Both born and raised in major cities, their homestead journey began in 2013, while living on a half-acre lot out of a desire to have better quality food for their growing family. While still growing and learning more every day, they are passionate about offering what they've learned to others who are just starting their journey. So that really says it all right there. I mean, that's what it's all about. You know, we are our brother's keeper, and if we learn stuff and it's impressed on us, we sort of have a duty to pass that on to other folks. So how many children do you have now for our viewing audience?
Number 7 is currently in the oven. This winter we'll add number 7.
Okay. What month?
February-ish.
Okay. So that will keep you warm. That will keep you warm this winter. That's a good thing. All right. So you're on a 5-acre farm in the town of Trufant. Is that correct? I know because I've been there.
Trufant.
Yep. Trufant. Yep. That's a wild town. It's the only town that I've ever drawn. Yeah, you drive through there, and their claim to fame is stumps that they've pulled out. I think that's pretty neat. You know, they think that's cool. I guess that is cool. But we had a nice time when we were down at your house. We went down to the DeClercq Homestead for an organic gardening workshop, and I was really impressed with what I saw. I get psyched up when I see other people doing things, you know, doing neat things. And I came home and I've shown you what I did. I laid down some weed block, and I built a little bit of fence, and I put some blueberries in. Oh, by the way, I got some soil acidifier. Jill found it at the store. So I'm supposed to put down like a cup at each one of my blueberry plants. And then I put strawberries in. My strawberries did really good in that weed block. All right. Oh, so I got a bunch of canned questions here, but how about you tell the viewing audience about your journey? You know, when it started, why it started, and what your goals were at that time. Just, you know.
Okay. Well,
without answering.
Our journey to homesteading really started during pregnancy, and I wanted to birth naturally. So we took a class, and our eyes were really opened to nutrition. Lived with a very standard American diet, at that time that we ate awfully. And so we started to change locally. And as our family grew, and it was just hard to source the quality food that we wanted. We started gardening, we got backyard chickens, and after about we moved out of the city and bought our first acreage, and snowballed from there. So good food was the main goal, though, initially.
Okay. So Tommy, you still work off farm, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. And Beth, you've got your hands full. Your youngest now is how old? Is he one yet?
15 months.
Okay.
Yeah,
So he's just
over.
over. Yeah. Okay. So that's quite a bit of testimony right there, because I've heard before where people say, well, I'm going to do this, but I've got all these kids. And so I'm kind of wondering for the viewing audience, like, you must involve your children in what you're doing. And if so, could you expound on that a little bit, how you do that?
Yeah, I think involving your kids, it's kind of a chore. Teaching people anything, right? The more you teach the people around you, then the more they can help you. Oldest, I mean, if we left the farm for a day, our two oldest could take care of everything. It's actually more of an asset than a liability, where people look at things convenience. But typically it truly is more of that. The more people we have here, as long as you are teaching people as you go.
And I think the whole point of it is it's for them. Like the goal initially was to food source for them, and now it's just a better quality of life for them. So
it's an education for them.
Yeah. Involving them, whether you're homesteading or you live in town and you do 100 different extracurricular activities, like it becomes, and we also kind of try to surround ourselves with like-minded people, so have farm chores every day, and it's just doing what they're doing. That's just normal.
What Tommy said there was sometimes it's a chore to actually get the kids to help, like weeding in the garden. Can always be a chore because they sometimes mistake the good stuff for the weeds, right? But it really is about training them. A little bit of training goes a long way, but I know having the kids help sometimes. I do this thing where they help me in the morning when they're fresh, but then after lunch I can cut them loose, and then it's like I can focus on what I'm doing, and I don't have to train them to do everything that we're doing. But it's paid big dividends. What's that?
They still get a glimpse of what in an effective way and efficient way.
Yeah. All right. Well, so you've done a couple of classes at your place, and can you tell me a little bit about what was the trigger point that got you to do that? So you've done the organic gardening class that I attended, and then you did a pastured poultry class, and from what I'm seeing, you're getting ready to do another pastured poultry class. Can you give us a little feedback on, okay, what was the effect on your family when I was there, you had quite a few people there. So what was the effect on your family when you had a lot of them you didn't know, a lot of strangers come into your house? Can you tell us about that?
Well, our oldest is like, she wants to teach the class. She's what she with people. Sometimes I feel like more than I am, meet the demand that people, they want to know things. And I get that because I was that person. She's just like, she loves this life. She loves what we're doing. So she's like, please, for
And I think a lot of the was not just going to like your hog is when we came up there and we butchered one of your cows. And I think feedback was, yeah, it's not that I can't do it. Had never put my hands on it and done it before. So for me, the classes is just getting people's hands on things, saying, hey, this is how you do it, and you're able to do it minimally.
Yeah. Okay, what was the threshold though? What was it that, you must have had a conversation between the two of you where you said, hey, you know what, I think we ought to do a class out at our place. What was the threshold? And I'm interested in this because I think that's the key. I think that's the key to a lot of the woes in our country is we're allowing other people to do things for us, or we're waiting for them to do things for us. And you guys said, hey, no, we're going to do this. We're going to do for our brethren and our sisterin, we're going to help them out and show them how to do this. So I'm just wondering, what was the threshold?
I think a few factors to a point in our comfort level that we felt like we were qualified to.
Yeah.
And, there's always been that demand of people wanting to have a certain level of confidence to be willing to ask people to pay you to do that. But then we also we have up now that we feel like we can host well and to be hired to generate income from our homestead. And as a small acreage, we can only grow juice, but teaching gives us an opportunity to have another income eating any more acreage. And that's appealing to us. A combination of those three things were the main push.
Okay. I think the teaching role is, we've just barely scratched it. I think that we're waiting for somebody else to teach us. And I'm real big on this, where I think that we need to raise up our own leaders. And I actually had a conversation with Joe today, yesterday, and I said, why are we not training our children to be leaders in this farm movement? Maybe we should look at that. And but I'm real proud of you guys because you stepped up to the challenge and you just took it head on. And it's definitely out of your comfort zone. I'm sure of that. I know it was for me the first time that I did it. Then it actually became really enjoyable. I don't think I'd want to go back to just production farming. I really like the training aspect of it. So I would like to give the audience here my perspective on this, because you brought it up, that you're asking people to pay you to conduct a class, and it provides an income stream. And I think for some reason, when it comes to homesteading and farm, because it's such a decent way of life, a fun way of life, you almost feel like you're getting over in that a lot of times I'll say to Jill, I cannot believe we get to live here. This is my job. It just doesn't feel like I'm sweating enough or I'm hating life enough. Usually your job, you're like, this sucks, but and so I think there's this feeling that Well, I do a class. I should probably do it for little or nothing. And I believe there's a real problem with that because you guys have put in the time. You've gone and gotten yourself trained with other more experienced people. You've stepped out of your comfort zone. You've left your kids with babysitters so you could come and do classes at my house. And then you turn around and do class. No, there is a fair trade concept here. When people come and they learn from you, people really don't mind compensating you for the time that you've spent to host them at your farm. So I think you understand that, but this is just a good time to blurt it out there so the rest of our tribe can hear that. If that is your role in the tribe and you feel compelled to be an instructor, then by all means do it. And don't look back. I want you to continue to do it. I feel kind of honored in a way because I've said to the tribe, no, do this, and you guys have done it. So I feel warm fuzzies about that. I like that pretty well.
And Mark, one of my big hangups personally is I don't like talking in front of people, right? And this right here is easy because there's not a bunch of people standing around here. It's just a screen.
Yeah.
But doing the chicken processing or the pasture poultry class, I'll be honest with you, I was a train wreck up here. and a good feedback. So, you know, we know a few of the people that took the class, you know, and got some honest feedback, and it was all good. Right now, you know, I could tell you flat out that I'm sitting there showing them how to on my hands doing one of these, you know. And
oh yeah.
Always a great feeling, but experience for me to get out of my comfort zone to help other people and themselves. Really,
you're not going to get good at it unless you just do it. And the more you teach, the more confident you'll be at the next class. And people that are taking homestead type class, like they're real people. They understand that, hey, this is, give them some grace for being nervous. That you are qualified in their mind to teach, otherwise they wouldn't be there. So that's a little bit comforting when we're not so sure about it.
Well, it's good that people get to hear that because there may be people listening to us right now that are saying, well, I don't know about this. I don't know if I want to do this. That's a little out of my comfort zone. Oh, Crunchy Mom is here. Nothing's out of his comfort zone.
Right.
Right. Let's see. The class Saturday, the grazing class. I was real proud of Parker because when he got there, I know that I've gotten to know him pretty well, and he's very transparent. And I think in the course of preparing for the class, he thought about it too much, right? And so when he got there, he was quite nervous, and I could see the hand was shaking just a little bit. But as he got rolling, he processed the energy and was able to turn it into a really good thing. And I think it was a very good class. I think he did a great job. I think he'll be a
that was awesome.
teacher.
He did
great.
Yeah, that we learned,
and you guys too.
A lot.
It's quite natural to feel nervous and have that train wreck in your head, but what you didn't do was run out into the cornfield. You didn't run away. You stayed through it. So, that's a good thing. So that's personal achievement, and that's what's neat about homesteading is so many things that we do. This is a beautiful thing, really, when I think about it, because I built a chicken tractor today for Joe. He's filming it, and we want to make it part of the course. And when I stepped back from it, it was nice and straight. It was really a nice thing, and I felt good about that. I got a good feeling about what I did. So it's almost like you chase that good feeling about what you've done, and
Yeah.
you can't get enough. One of the principles that I think that needs to be talked about here too is, like, you guys are just down the road from me. I'm coming down there in November to do a homestead hog harvest, and I've made it perfectly clear to Tommy and Beth that I want you guys to handle this. I'll come and do it once or twice maybe, but I don't think it's going to be necessary. And then the year after that, hey, it's all yours. And that may seem to people in the audience like, hey man, you're putting yourself out of business. But let's think about this for a minute. In between your house and my house, there's, an hour and a half or so. There's probably 1 million people, right? So it would be extremely short-sighted of me, as it will be extremely short-sighted of you later on, to say, well, I don't want anybody else to be instructing the same thing that I'm instructing. Because in reality, what happens is you have 20 people come to your pasture poultry class, and they're going to tell 20 people. Before you know it, you have more people coming to your classes than you can handle. And you're going to need people to backfill you to do this mission. And then when it's so saturated that you can't get anybody to come to your class, then you go on to the next thing, whatever that is. And I don't really even know what that is yet. We're not even close. We're not even close. And you did something, I think. Oh, go ahead.
Just scratching the surface.
Yeah, we're just barely scratching it. I had tomorrow's our chicken processing day, and a gal pulled in here today. She had her husband's truck. It was a nice service truck with all the nice compartments on it, and she had ducks in the compartments. And she said to me, now this is really neat because, obviously that's not their thing, but they know that they need to be doing it. And she's got 6 kids. I think you guys are about the same age. And she was down in Coopersville. And I said, whoa, there's somebody in the tribe that I think you ought to meet. Beth DeClercq's got quite a few kids, little ones too, and nothing is holding her back during the day, and so on and so on. So I was able to talk to her about people in the tribe that are actually doing what she wants to do. Yeah. So I was able to, she's probably listening now. She was a real nice woman, younger woman. And she was real nice, and I was able to tell her that she should tune in tonight. So maybe she's actually tuning in. If you are there, that'd be great if you type something or a thumbs up or something, so I know I'm talking to you. But it's really nice to be able to hand her over to you, because she's closer to you. She's closer in age to you. Her family situation is closer to you. And boy, if you guys could hook up, what a powerful group you'd have. Be a very powerful group. So that's the nature of the tribe. Okay, next question. What are some of the biggest challenges you faced while building your homestead? That's a great answer. That's from Jill.
We talked about this. I mean, obviously, loss of pigs and chickens and dogs, but the challenge is just like slow and steady homesteading is, like, just being patient. I mean, we have a lot of energy and a lot of excitement. The finances or the time availability in our, with the quantity of things that we want to do. So being patient, not giving into debt, and just keeping what we can with what we have has been like that constant kind of stick with.
And while that is it's also a really good teacher, because you learn how to do things in a way down. Hey, if I can't get to the store today, or the store's closed today, and I need to fix this up, you tend to fix things if you can't just run to the store and buy the brand new thing out of the package. You know, it has been a huge hurdle for us, but it's also taught us a lot.
Resource, yeah.
I suppose
we're kind of forced to.
I suppose if you know, I always figure if I had a lot of money to throw at this, just an endless supply of money, I would probably make some really big mistakes.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
quick. Whereas I have to limit what I do because of financial restrictions. I get time to think about, you know, where to put things and how to do it. So you and I have similar. Oh, go ahead. I think I cut you off, Tommy.
I purpose that way. If you have time to contemplate it and think about it and pray over it, but you tend to do things deliberately and with the purposes and going down your list. If you don't have a whole lot of money to throw at something, you know it's going to work.
Yeah. I've actually gotten to the point now where I have more money than time, and it's not like I have more money coming in than I ever did. It's just that I'm learning how to use the things that I have until there's no use left in them. And it's been a process of learning skills, scrounging skills and other things, and then getting over the fact that things don't have to look perfect. They just have to function.
Right.
And our profits are better now than they were. All right, so let me go back to the question list here. Okay, this is what's something you are working to improve and learn more about on your farm this year? That's a good question.
All right, so Beth had to step out, check on some kiddos. One of the biggest things that, and we after the since we moved in really and took over the acreage that has been commercial probably 50, 60 years now, it is improving our grazing patches and hopefully someday sheep. And this year we've been deliberate about how we're grazing and trying to amend all the issues that are going on and sprayed and messed with constantly 50, 60 years.
Yeah.
And that's why I think last weekend was, I was up when we left last weekend, ready to go, you know?
Yeah.
It was, that Parker's awesome. I mean, the wealth of knowledge that guy has is amazing. And if he does that class again, I might just to soak up more. So, but that
you
really
could probably get them down at your house too.
Yeah, absolutely. Improving our grazing and making it as efficient we have here, being just on 5 acres. You know, we don't have a waste, you know.
For your information, this this class that's going on in August with Craig Schaff, boy, that might round things out. That guy really knows a lot about soils. He, wow, more than anybody that I know. He really is a sharp guy. and I'd be interested to see, you know, how what he says, how we can apply it to what Parker was about. I was real impressed with what Parker was talking about. The grass was so thick down there at Polyface that they had to run it over with a four-wheeler so they could get the fences in. You know, I don't have that, but I know I could. I just have to do certain things, and I've got a direction now. I thought that was a really good class.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's see. Okay, we're at 8:33. I didn't want to keep you guys too long. I've got a quote, I guess, from Beth, and so I'd like to read this. I think it's from Beth. Could be from you, but it was slow and steady homesteading. I feel a lot of new homesteaders are quick to jump into all the things year 1 or 2. We have not had the luxury, financial or confidence wise, but we have been intentionally growing little by little every year, and I'm so grateful we did. It really adds up. So, refresh my memory. How many years have you been where you're at now, Tommy?
Our current house,
Yeah.
our current farm, we've actually only been here. This will be our third coming up. So we haven't actually been here all that long. Actually started on a different farm a little bit farther up north of Six Lake.
Okay. But you've gotten a lot done there in the time that you've been there.
I've been in a lot of the slow and steady at the old place, and taught us, you know, what we're looking for, what we're trying to lay out is huge. You know, you go look at a place and you go, oh, this would be great. What should we do first? You know?
Yeah.
But being able to prioritize what we want to do, when we want to do it, and exactly how we're going to do it, what kind of fencing we're going to use, proximity of things as far as doing chores in the morning, where do we want the chickens, the layers to be. So being able to walk into it slow stakes, and realize that, you know, you can say, oh, I'm tough, I'll walk against water in the wintertime. And it's like, yeah, but you might not.
It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, the layout, it was Homesteady.
Yeah.
Homestead.
Okay.
Where that comes
Can
from.
you tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about your scullery, Beth?
Sure.
Yeah.
She would love to.
Yeah.
So the scullery build out started because cow, and I wanted a utility sink for all of my milk pails because it was just taking over my kitchen. And so I wanted a real utility sink, like a commercial utility sink, because if you're going to get one, you might as well get but the only place we could fit it was in our garage. And our garage had 3. Figured this third stall we will just dedicate to, and our freezers. And as we were closing it off from, of course, we don't park in, it's just a workshop and a collection of tools. But how can we utilize this space in other ways that would make some of the kitchen be relieved during those really heavy processes, preserving from the garden or butchering, because it's just to come and cook dinner when you've got chicken everywhere from them. So the scullery started out as like a milk house to wash stuff, and then it kind of turned into, well, we could also use this as like my canning kitchen the summertime, so that I don't have to make the house hot.
Yeah.
And it's cellar, so logistically it is so convenient just to take jars straight there. Butcher shop. So those are the kind of the three things that it is going to serve us as. And then number 4 bonus would be, it's definitely a teaching space that we'll utilize now. We hope that other people will utilize it for classes with things that they're more soap making or bread baking. It's definitely a space that other people just community-wise so we're really excited about it. But
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You can get a lot more mileage if you've got a facility, but then you make it available for other people to do a class there, kind of like we did with Parker,
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a win-win, because then you're bringing somebody to your farm they're teaching you something too. There's a lot that you can learn from them. Yeah, I've really enjoyed that part of it. And be honest with you, I don't know how far it's going to go. We've thought about building a much bigger facility, but we'll see. At this time, we got our hands full, so I think we're about where we're going to land. Could either of you, we've got some new homesteaders. Could you just do a short instructional to new homesteaders, as somebody that's walked this path now? What would you say to some neighbor people, maybe your age, or they've got a few less kids? What would you tell them? What would be your advice to them? I can think of some things I would tell people, but I want to hear your perspective.
I learn what you can where you are. So I first, kind of got interested in this. I mentioned we had a half that he was actually really big, but I learned to can produce, and I bought raw milk and learned from other people, and yogurt and things like that. And gaining is really made the transition to acreage a lot easier. I wasn't learning how to grow a large quantity of produce and how to preserve preservation side down. Same with the milk cow. I mean, it's dealing with multiple gallons each day, but at least I was already comfortable with milk and making butter. So my first advice would definitely be to just learn skills where you are. But then the second one is just to connect with people that are doing, surround yourself with the people that you are, wanting to from, because you'll just absorb from them and maybe learn things that you can only learn through experience, but you can have the buffer of them, as at least give you some foresight to what you're going to experience.
Okay. How about you, Tom? Anything?
Yeah, getting started homesteading, a lot of it is, I'm sure you touched on it, as far as we read a lot. We read a lot of books, watched a lot of YouTube videos, but I compare it, and maybe not ways, to somebody saying they're not ready to have a kid. You got to kind of, you'll figure it out as you go, and you'll build community with people, because you'll find other people, and that'll help you through situations. We have plenty of people that, we're having an issue during cow calving,
yeah,
right on speed dial, and here we go, about getting into it, finding people around you that can help you out, and not just help you out, but you can help them out too, because you might have skills that they don't have. But if you're educate yourself and dive in.
Yeah, We
Okay.
had good friends when we were that owned a dairy, a small raw milk dairy, and they really blessed us by hang out and tag along. And Tommy's really good at woodworking, so woodworking jobs for them, just in exchange. And I would be grateful for their willingness to let us just really, we just wanted to absorb everything, just be in that setting, and they allowed us to do that.
Well, that'll be you. You'll be doing the same thing someday, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hope so.
You will. So right now, as I remember, you've got a big garden. You've got pastured poultry going. 3 tractors do you have?
Yep.
A milk cow that just calved. I saw the pictures of that the other day, or calved like months ago.
Yep.
And then a couple beef. You keep a couple beefers. Is there anything? Oh, a bunch of laying hens. Is that it? The scullery?
We have some meat. We have some, and then actually we have Mangalitsa feeders, of course. Our Mangalitsa gilt just farrowed like 5 hours ago.
Oh, good.
First batch.
How did I forget that? I think they originated at my house.
Yep.
So
So you're a grandpa. Congrats.
I'm a grandpa. Okay, well, that was a really good interview. I have one more question, and somebody else sent this. Well, let me look through here. Christine Estelle says, I've been following Beth on Instagram for 5-ish years.
Uh-oh.
Watching Mark for over 2 years. I've learned so much from you both. Thank you so much. So excited about this interview. Awesome. Thanks for that input.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you don't realize the impact that you have, until you die and you see how many people come to your funeral, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, final question, and then I'm going to let you guys go, and then I have a little commentary for the audience, and then I'm going to cut off right around 9 o'clock. So this is the final question. It says, the Bible says that happy is the man whose quiver is full. Can you tell us how many arrows were in a man's quiver at the time that was written?
Ooh, that's a good question.
What was the full battle
I don't know.
complement?
I don't know.
I actually don't know.
You don't know?
I don't.
Well, I can tell you.
I would guess 12.
And you should know, if you want to be happy, it was 12 arrows. 12 arrows. So you've got a ways to go. So good luck. But it's kind of neat in a way. You've got that scullery, and you've got people that you're getting trained, your 2 oldest. And I mean, it'll be just in time. You'll be able to plug them right in and get a half day's work out of them and really make some gains on the homestead. We kind of kid around about growing our, we have children. I've got 8 kids, and they help us out a lot. They really do a lot of work if you train them up right. So you train up a child the way they should go, they will not depart from it. And I've seen that real time, right? So, well, I thank you a lot, DeClercq people, for coming and doing this interview. It means a lot to people that watch this and to people that will listen to it tomorrow. There'll be somewhere around 300 people that'll listen to this interview. So think about that. And maybe you could share your contact information so people know where you live and your web address and all that stuff, and then we'll let you go.
We have a very neglected YouTube channel that I go through varying seasons of consistency on. The DeClercq Homestead, then my personal Instagram is at Beth DeClercq. Nowhere. He's not on the internet. You can't find him. So.
All right. Well, good enough.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll let you go. Thanks a lot. I'm gonna talk a little bit to my audience here about you. So you gotta go away. All right. They did. You gotta go away. All right. I really appreciate that. We had another thing lined up for today, but it couldn't happen. And so the DeClercqs have always been part of the inner circle. It seems like if we have an opportunity and we call them, hey, you want to do this? Yeah. So Jill thought, no, I can always call Beth and she'll step up. So appreciate that, you guys. As a lot of you know, I was in the military for 20 years, so I had a lot of young people that would come and work for me. And I just got put in that position a lot because, I don't know, it worked out pretty good. If I asked people to do things, I got good results. I always felt as though you lead by example. I always felt that you do not push a rope up a hill, you pull the rope up the hill. And I think these people, along with several others that are in this tribe, that we've said, hey, we need to do this. If we want to make a difference in this world that we're in, we need to do this. And Beth and Tommy have stepped right up to the plate. And you heard Tommy say it. I mean, I knew, he was nervous with some of this. It was out of his comfort zone for sure. But I'm wondering how much that we do in the homesteading world is actually in our comfort zone. After a while, when you're used to doing stuff, it becomes comfortable. But at first, a lot of it is way out of your comfort zone. I was probably 35 years old before I butchered my first chicken. I really was. We were in Montana. Jill and I were fairly newly married, and we raised a bunch of chickens. And then after that, I wasn't even butchering my own pigs. I was taking them in to have them done. And somebody pushed me a little bit and said, hey, how come you ain't doing this? It was old Dan Isaacson. How come you ain't doing this? He says. I said, I don't know how. And he says, well, I'll show you. And it's made a huge impact on my life. So I'm glad he showed me, right? And butchering chickens, there was a woman in our neighborhood named Bobby Bink that showed me that. And I'm glad she showed me. And we've had the pleasure and the honor, actually, of showing other people how to do this stuff. So I guess my parting shots here are, as you've seen this family really move ahead in the homesteading world because they have stepped out of their comfort zone and been willing to train others how to do certain things. When I went to their class down there for organic gardening, I'm kind of riding down there thinking, well, I hope they have some good food, because organic gardening, boy, I know everything there is to know about this. And that was really arrogant of me to think that way, because they've discovered things that I've never even seen. And just the lay of their land is completely different. They attracted a different group of people than we probably would have attracted. So I got to talk to people that I would probably not have talked to otherwise. And I believe that they are a little on the hooked side. When you have a group of people in and you have that energy flow of people coming, expecting a blessing, and then they get something out of the class that you do. That energy that flows around is really something. And you say, hey, let's do that again. That was fun. And so they are doing another pastured poultry class. And the class that Jill and I will be leading down there for hog processing, the Homestead Hog Harvest, is sold out. So Beth has been directing people, hey, sign up at Baker's. So she sold out before we have. And I'm really looking forward to it because I think there's going to be just an interesting group of people that we probably that don't watch our channel and don't know that we even exist. So this is something, I'm looking at the names on here right now, and there's a lot of familiar names. Some of them I would get quite quite bossy with, and you know who I'm talking about there, and say, you need to be doing this. And then there's others that I'm seeing that, they're just coming into this and just getting wet. And but I think this is a good thing for people to do. You learn and then you pass it on. You want to be training your replacements always. So you train your children, and then you train people in the neighborhood. Belva is on here now, and I've really enjoyed the Tribe Plus conversation that we had like last night. Was really neat. And I would say one of the things that I didn't really stress very much last night is community. You really want to build the community around you, and the people that live close to you, if you can get them to come to classes so they see that you're really, trying to do a good thing. American people are the best people. They really are the best people, and they are helpful. They will give you the shirt off their back. But sometimes you have to step forward first. And I think a lot of what we've gone through, I'm not supposed to talk about any of these things or I'm going to get slapped by number 2 son. But a lot of things that we've gone through, you can see what their goal was. It was to separate and keep us from community. So we have to run directly back at it. I mean, it's just like an ambush. You run directly into the ambush and you return to them exactly what they're throwing at you. They want you to be separate and keep to yourself and not step out of your comfort zone. No, we're going to congregate. We're going to share skills, and the hell with what you guys say, because we know it's incorrect. And you have to call it the way it is. I mean, to be kind and politically correct, I think that is just destructive. It is a way to take the actual power that we have as homesteaders away from us. There's a lot of power in the homestead community, but we need to come together. We need to connect the dots and all that stuff, and we are doing that, and it's a really good thing. And every one of us can do our part. We probably need to lean a little bit on the Crunchy Mama people to inform them that they probably need to move to Michigan. Michigan is a nice place. You have family here. It rains once in a while. We have nice fertile soils, and yeah, we're gonna start a little community here. The Crunchy Mama people would be great people to partner with, but we're partnered with them anyway. They're out in Texas, and that's probably where they'll call home. But yeah, we miss them. They were here for Tribe Day, and we had an awesome time. We've got Amy Bacher with her. Amy Bacher is camping next door with her husband Mike and their 4 kids, and they claim that they're going to be moving down the road this Saturday, but we will see. I don't know if they actually will. That's okay. They can stay all summer if they want. Keith's with us. Keith, you need to get busy. Inga, Sean Wise. All right. Appreciate all of you coming. To be honest with you, I kind of miss doing the show every night, but this allows me Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And so when there is when there's consulting that I'm needing to do, I've got 4 consecutive days that I can do it. And it was getting to be a little bit much for things are increasing right now. There is definitely an uptick in the pace. There's a lot more urgency in the lives of people who are saying, hey, I need to get my homestead up and running. What do I do? And so I do need a little bit more time. We have launched the Tribe Plus, which is going really good. For the time being, we're just going to meet on Wednesday nights. If you wish to come, monitor the Anyone Can Farm Tribe page, and Jill will put out the code that you need to get into the Zoom meeting. Last night it was outstanding. We only had 2 people in the meeting, so it was nice. It was like real time talking. There was no lag in the communication. It was really good. And we had Belvin, Gary, and Dave and Sonia. And I haven't met the Rockwells yet in person, but I did meet the Dave and Sonias, and I can pass on their information. It's Off Grid with Dave and Sonia, or Sonia and Dave. And so they were here at Tribe Day, and they stay in a trailer that's a utility trailer that they outfitted as a incognito, like I don't know, camping trailer. You'd see the thing sitting at a Home Depot and you'd have no idea that there's people living inside of it, but they've got it outfitted. Really cool. The guy's really into solar, and they do freeze drying, and she is a bartering whiz, right? So she's agreed kind of cursory to come and turn us on to the art of barter, right? The art of barter. They are not preppers, by the way. They are just survivalists. I gave them a real hard time because we were at the campfire, and they probably wouldn't want me to say this, but I can't not say it because I thought it was hilarious. And I said, so you guys are preppers, right? And it was like, no, don't say that. You'd think I called them, I don't know, Klansmen or something. But I guess in some circles, the blowback from being a prepper is not good. I did not know that because as I tell you guys, I'm a prepper for sure, but I'm also a farmer. So if I'm not prepping for the next season, I'm not going to be a farmer very long. So yeah, I prepare. I do a lot of preparing. Do it all the time. Part of my life. Plus I was a Boy Scout. So Scout motto, be prepared, right? So I am prepared. All right. Good show tonight. I really appreciate those guys coming on. And heads up, if you would like to be interviewed, if you think that you have something to share with the community that would be enlightening and helpful to the community, to the tribe here, by all means, give us a shout, and then we will thoroughly vet you. We'll need to look into your social media. We'll need to see what the balance is in your bank account. I need to know how many firearms you have at your house. I need to know how you voted, of course. And if we think that you would be somebody that we would like to have on, then we will allow it. There's a small stipend that you have to pay us to come on. All right. Just kidding, all that stuff. Okay, Sean's saying another week of 105 days. Michigan is sounding real good. Hey, Sean, we should have taken you to the beach where we took the Balkers. We took them over to the lake, and we got there like 6 6 in the evening, and it was perfect. We were able to go swimming. The water's nice. And then we stayed there until the sun went down, which is right around 10 o'clock at night. And it was outstanding. Outstanding. And it's free. You know, it was a few dollars in gas to get out there. But we brought a picnic lunch. And I can tell you the Bachers have good food. I ate most of their food, right? Because our food, I'm used to our food. So I ate their food. Had a good time. Really nice. Nice folks. Had a great time. Right? All right, Luann, I am having a challenge signing up for the membership. All right, can you do something? Would you just tomorrow? No, tomorrow won't be a good day. We're butchering chickens tomorrow. When you think of it, maybe tomorrow morning early, like call the farmhouse and speak with Jill. She will show you how to do that, because that's really not in my wheelhouse, right? I don't need to sign up. All right, I'm going to get going. Thanks a lot, you guys, for showing up. Real fun. We will see you on Tuesday for the regular show, and we're going to be talking more about food preservation. That is going to be the topic, because we're sliding into not this coming Saturday, day after tomorrow, but the weekend after that. We're going to have a canning class here, and I'm actually going to go to it because I've never actually canned anything. Honestly, I've eaten plenty of stuff that Jill has canned, but I've never actually done it myself. Okay, so good. We will see you then Tuesday night. Anyone can find